Here are some hints on how to take the UIL chess competition test, and a lot of it applies to any other test you might have to take while you're in school. So pause and read all these hints, discuss, and be sure to apply them. These kind of problems are common at the beginning of the test, and the question is black in check, checkmate, or is it stalemate, or none of the above? Pause, and the answer is black is in check, but not checkmate. Same question, is black in check, checkmate, or stalemate, or none of the above? Pause, and the answer is black is in stalemate. He has no moves, but he's not being attacked. So they split the point. Same question, is black in check, checkmate, or stalemate, or none of the above? Pause to figure it out. And the answer is black is in checkmate. The rook is attacking it and covering the back rank, and the white king covers the second rank, or rank 7. Question here is who has the material advantage using the default value of the pieces. Pause to figure it out, and the answer is black, because the queen is worth 9 points and white just has 5 plus 2 is 7 points. This question is, can the white king capture the black pawn before or immediately after it promotes on A1? So figure that out, hit pause, and the answer is yes. By moving king to C3, it gets within the queening square, and even though the black pawn will promote at A1, it'll be immediately captured by the white king. This is essentially what's the best move for white. He wants to attack on at least one knight with a pawn. Which is the best way to do that? Pause. And the answer is by playing the C pawn to C4. It's a double attack. That one pawn attacks both knights. Black will move one of them and white will capture the other one. This one's what's the best move for white? Pause to figure it out. And the answer is bishop to G2, pinning the rook against the king, so the rook can't move and will be captured. What's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is rook to A8, check, and when the king moves, white will capture the queen. What's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is rook to E8, because that'll be checkmate, and it's not rook to D8 because the bishop could capture it. This one is black has just moved the pawn from B7 to B5. What moves are available to white? Pause to figure it out. And the answer is the white pawn could move on to C6, or it could capture en passant the B pawn by moving to B6 and removing the black pawn on B5. But it cannot do the same thing with the D pawn, because that happened to move ago, and you can only capture en passant on your very next move. This one is what's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is to move to A8 and promote to a queen. What's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is move the pawn to D8 and become a knight under promote, it's called, and you will be giving check to the king while attacking the queen. It's called a fork, and you'll win the pawn, and white will win the queen, and white will win the game. If you promote to a queen, you'll still have an advantage, but it's likely to only be a draw because the black queen is alive and can check the white king quite a bit. Essentially, what's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is knight to b6, check to the king, and attacking the queen and winning the queen. This is a question about castling. Can white castle kingside or queenside? Pause, and the answer is white cannot castle on either side because it's in check, and you can't castle out of check. What's the best move for white? Pause. The answer is the bishop to take the queen on c7 because that's the most valuable of the 4 pieces that it's able to capture. What's the best move for white? Pause, and the answer is knight to b6, checkmate. Why can't the pawn on a7 capture the knight? It's pinned by the rook. This one, white has a checkmate in 2 moves. What's the second move? Pause to figure it out. And the answer is rook to a2, checkmate. The first move is rook to b3, but it asks for the second move. This one's about checkmate. Is knight to b6 checkmate, or is knight to c7 checkmate? Are they both checkmate, or are neither of them checkmate? Pause to figure it out. And the answer is they're both checkmate. White to move, what's the best move? And in this particular case, they'll ask, what's the follow-up move? What's the second move white makes in order to win this game? Pause. And the answer is the second move is going to be knight to f7, checkmate. You need to solve the problem that the first move is queen to g8, check. The rook takes the queen on g8, and then the knight move is checkmate. It's called a smothered mate. This one's white to move and checkmate in 2 moves. What's the first move? Should it take the queen on a5? Figure it out after pause. And the answer is the first move is queen to h6, check. The pawn cannot capture the queen because it's pinned by that bishop on b2 against the black king. And checkmate follows on the second move. Queen takes g7.